Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do a Let's Play and full live review for Lighter Than AR VR, a game released on the Steam Store April 30th, 2018 for the HTC Vive, Valve Index, and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $5. I bought it at that price, and this is basically a hot air balloon simulation. And it doesn't have the best UI, so let me explain this UI. This is just nighttime. I don't like the nighttime. I don't think it looks good. It's too dark. This is basically just a bunch of balloons, and I don't think it ends until you land. This is, you can select different courses. So let's go ahead and click on that to show the different courses. Once you click on that, the different courses show up. You see the all green area, the snow-covered mountains, the flat plains, the cliffs, the foggy mountains. And so let's go back to home. And finally, you have the courses, which is right behind me. So again, those were the landscapes. These are the courses. And there's different objectives in the courses. One of them is just simply go from point A to point B. That's it. Others, I believe, you just go up and down and you have to go through these rings. Others, you try to put a hacky sack into certain areas. I believe this one has the most objectives, so let's go ahead and click on that one. And so far, each time I've clicked on that one, it's always been a green covered hilly area as it is right now. So this is what I've always gotten as far as landscape environment. As far as the visuals, I like the visuals. I think they look pretty good, although not perfect. Especially when you look up, it looks pretty realistic. But once you look at the horizon, you do see some problems. First off, just this little basket that's up close seems to be the scales are wrong. Now, there are controls for this, so we're going to currently try to go down. So all you do is move your hand into this lever, and it automatically pulls. So you just basically move your hand there. You don't need to do anything else. And we're going to go down. We need to go down as quickly as possible, but we need to be careful not to go too far down. So I'm just going to have to be very careful here, because I don't want to drop too much elevation. But the more elevation you drop, the easier it is to do the objective, which is just to throw these hacky sacks into the target area. As you can see, they're painted on the ground. And I think we might be dropping too much elevation. And we don't want to drop too much elevation, because like I said, if we drop too much elevation, it'll pretty much end our course. Okay. You gotta be careful here. I'm dropping so much elevation. Okay, I think I don't know that I can. No, my throws were way off. Oh man. Yeah, I don't think I can make it now. Oh well. So now we really have to gain some altitude. And again, you're not actually pressing any button here. You can close your hands, but it doesn't make any difference. You just had to move your hand avatar, your motion controller, into the direction it'll automatically pull the lever, pull the knob here. And we do have to gain some elevation to go through the hoop. And at this point, I don't know. This is one of those things where you need to do the course quite a bit to kind of get the feel for how much hot air to put in there to gain the proper elevation, and when you put too much, when you put too little. So you don't move really fast, so you do have time, obviously, to recalculate and, let go some air if you need to, or put some more air if you think you need that. At this point, I don't know. We seem to be gaining elevation, and we might need to drop a little bit of air, or we might just be perfect. I guess we'll see. Now, there's also a pumpkin here, and I guess the developers left this for Halloween. But, there you go. You can just drop it. I am having to play standing, because if I play seated, I'm too below the basket. And again, this is all gate-based navigation. And you can turn the music off if you want to. And at this point, I don't think I have enough elevation, but who knows? Maybe my elevation is perfect now. We'll see as I get closer. In fact, I might have too much elevation. I just can't tell. Right now I'm below it, but by the time I get there, I might be too high. And after we get through this hoop, we're gonna have to drop altitude, and try to get the hacky sack into those little targets over there. Now you see a helicopter in the distance. Now, I'll be honest, to me the helicopter looks blurry. There's also sometimes an airplane that goes through the sky as well. And am I still gaining elevation or not? Like I said, this is just one of those things that you get through experience and just having done it before. I've only played about an hour, but I've already experienced, basically all the content. It's just a matter of improving on doing the courses. And I definitely think I need elevation. I think I'm too low. I might be able to get there, though. I might be. I might be able to get through there. I don't know if this is enough. Is this enough? Yes, we got credit for it. Now we have to drop elevation really quick. So again, now we need to drop elevation really quick. There's another hoop over there. So we're going to have to be careful. We can't drop too much elevation. Then we'll have to drop a whole lot after that hoop. Let's see how we do. And you see we got 4 points so far. So you want to get as many points as possible to the end of the course. And again, if you land the balloon, that ends it. So beware of that. Only land if you want to end the experience. Other than that, though, at the end, if you complete it, you get a fireworks show. This is a room scale experience. There is no locomotion, no smooth or snap turning. And like I said, I am playing standing. Unfortunately, there is no way to adjust height. Now, it just so happens that this is my floor in real life, so it does fit. It's just, I think the scales are a little bit too high. And at this point, I don't know if I'm too high or not. I'm going to drop it just a little bit more, but I don't want to drop it too much. And obviously it helps if you have a room scale set up. I think we need to drop a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think we're getting there. For some reason, I heard like a successful sound, but then I heard a failure sound, and we ended up with only 4. And I can't tell you why I lost a point. Oh well, we did something wrong. I don't know what we did wrong though. And again, I think we need to drop a little bit of elevation, but I don't want to drop too much because it seems like we're already... By the time we get there, we might be too low. We'll see what happens. So the course does take a while to get there just because, although I don't think you're really moving at a snail's pace, it kind of does feel like that up in this elevation, but you are really making a bit of ground. And you would tell that if you were like ground level, but since we're in the air, it might be a little... Okay, I think we're dropping too much elevation. Okay, I think we're good now. I think we're good. What do you guys think? Perfect? This might be perfect, actually. Yeah, this looks really good. Again, this is not realistic, but at least it presents a challenge as far as navigating the hot air balloon, so I do enjoy it. For $5, I think you're getting good value with this game, you know, as long as you have your expectations low. Like I said, the visuals look good in certain spots. If you look up, if you look at the other balloons, they look really good. But you notice the helicopter didn't look really good. The terrain doesn't always look this good. I think this is probably the best looking terrain, the grassy, hilly one. Maybe the snow-covered one as well. But the nighttime looks bad, and some of the other terrains don't look as good either. It's just some poor textures. Okay, I think we have to get higher elevation. Now, there is one where you have to collect a hacky sack from like a pole. And I don't think I'm talented enough to do that. So if that comes up, I might not even try it, you know. And yeah, we'll see where we are. Again, you have this pumpkin. You can throw it overboard if you want. I think what would make this app really good if it was multiplayer. If this was multiplayer, this app would be gold. Because this is the kind of experience you want to share in VR. But this is definitely a nice showcase. You know, if you have friends or family and you want to show off VR and the kind of experiences you can have in VR, this is definitely one to showcase. So for $5, I think that's good value given that it's that type of app. But yeah, I would like to see more done with this app. You know, weather, more terrains, and there's a plane there flying above us. Oh, there it is. So the plane actually looks a lot better than the helicopter, in my opinion. So I think we do need to get higher in the air now. And I'll show off a little bit of the snow-covered area, but then I think I'll end this video. But like I said, I do recommend this app. I did enjoy it, but also keep your expectations low. Like I said, it's not perfect. The interactions are pretty poor. Like I said, they're not even point and click. They're gaze-based, and then using the levers here is just moving your motion controller in the general area, and it'll automatically do it. So the interactions are pretty poor. Some of the scales for some of the things are off. It's pretty questionable. They have a pumpkin there. I don't know. Maybe some people will enjoy it, but I just think it's a little odd. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And like I said, some of the terrains do look good. In certain areas, it does look really good, but in other areas, it doesn't look as good. But definitely the best part is looking up. I think that's the most realistic looking part. And then looking at the other balloons, I think it looks really good. And for $5, you really can't complain, I think. So as far as my full live review for this game, I would say it's a buy recommendation. And if I have to rate it, I would give it a solid 6.5 out of 10. I think it's really good, but it also feels like it's not a finished product. Like I said, the UI, very bad. Gaze-based navigation shouldn't be a thing. It really shouldn't. And like I said, it's just like it's missing features. But sometimes it feels like I'm being too harsh, you know, just because of the low price. And overall, it does look good, even though some parts don't. Like, I don't think the basket looks all that great, if I'm being honest. So, okay, now I think we have to defend. And I think that little pole there is where you pick up a hacky sack. So you can tell this is a pretty long course. I didn't want to make this a long video, but I want to show the whole course. And like I said, you can turn the music on and off. I think another thing that would have made this, another reason I would have rated this game higher, is if they had more music than this. You know, this is pretty much the tune. It's not a bad tune, but it's like the only one. And again, just the poor VR interactions, the poor UI. That's why I'm giving it only a 6.5. But I could definitely see giving this a higher score, you know, because the overall experience is pretty good, I have to admit. But it's, like I said, it's only $5. It delivers on giving a very pleasant hot air balloon ride in VR. It's the best one in VR, if I'm being honest. So that's why, even though I'm only giving it a 6.5, it kind of feels like a low score from me personally, just because, like I said, overall, I think it's a good experience, and it's the best hot air balloon ride in VR. But it also has its problems, so that's why I'm only giving it a 6.5. But that's definitely something that's debatable. You know, you can give it, I think, as high as a 7.5, and I think I'd be okay with that. But to me, all the downsides make me only give it a 6.5. I think I'm too high in the air. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting the hacky sack. I'm too high. All the stoners are saying, yeah, man, I'm too high too. But I wanted to show the pole so that you guys could see the hacky sack. See, there's a hacky sack, but yeah, I'm not. The elevation, I'm just too high. There was no way I was getting to it. And it's kind of dangerous to fly low like this, just because, like I said, if you land, it's game over. At least in the course one. I think in one of the experiences you're supposed to land. Okay. So there's, I believe, the next challenge there to try to fly through that hoop. We got 10 points so far. That's the most points I've gotten, so yeah, I'm getting used to this game. Just the hacky sack so far is the only one that I really goofed on big time. But I was just scared to descend too fast, because then you crash land. You don't want that. So yeah, I think this is a pretty chill, pretty relaxing experience. And if you're into those kinds of experiences, I think this is definitely one that you should probably get. But I definitely think just just a little bit of more polish would have made this a so much better experience. That's why it's kind of disappointing to me. Just work on the UI. At least say what those different things do. You just have these symbols and you're supposed to guess what it says. The only way to really know is just to click on them and find out. Otherwise, you have no idea what to do. So this game is pretty unclear. But hopefully my video clarifies things for you guys. By the way, to get this hacky sack, that's the only time you have to press trigger or anything. Or the pumpkin. Other than that, it's just put your motion controller in the general area. It'll automatically use it for you. And like I said, this is running at a pretty steady 90 frames per second. I wish developers would always add graphical settings, because not everyone has an RTX 3080, so I don't know how it'll run like on a 1080 or a 1060 or one of those fancy AMD cards that I keep hearing about. But yeah, I did enjoy it. and I do recommend it. And I want to show at least one more environment, so I'm just going to do this last thing. I think this is the end of the course, and if it is, it'll just show fireworks, and then we can just quickly show the snow-capped mountain and end this full life review. I don't want to make this a long video, but I did like this game, and I only gave it a 6.5, but like I said, I think it's one of those games that's greater than the sum of its parts. It's obviously flawed in some ways, pretty obvious, I think. I think even in desktop view that you guys are seeing, you can tell that the basket is just not quite right. The scale seemed to be a little bit off there. But, you know, when you look up, when you look at the other balloons, it looks pretty solid. And sure, these little course things don't look very realistic, but, you know, it presents a nice, challenging gameplay to add to the chill vibe. You know, it's not too challenging, but it's just challenging enough to keep you mentally stimulated and in the experience. I wish there was an ability to adjust height, you know, because I'm having to play standing. I would have preferred to play this seated. So another reason why I'm giving it the low score of 6.5, but I still say it's the best of its type. So, you know, don't be discouraged by my low score. I score games, but sometimes I think my scores are pretty accurate as conveying, you know, what the game is worth or how enjoyable it is. But I think in this case, maybe it's not a good rating system for a game like this that's pretty unique in VR. And maybe I should give it a higher bump in score just because of how unique it is. And how, like I said, it is the best. Here it is. This is the end. So it's showing the little fireworks show. Pretty cool. But like I said, you know, it needs more musical variety. I would like to see more variety in the different landscapes. They're all pretty. Well, you'll see a different landscape, which is a mountain, and you'll see, even though it's a mountain, it's still pretty much the same. There's even one where you're pretty high in the air, but the experience never really changes that much. I like to see, like, I don't know, like maybe overhanging wires. Is there a reason for you to have to fly low or fly high because you're avoiding some obstacles in the landscape? Really, the only thing that comes up is sometimes there's a windmill and you have to go over it, but that's pretty much it. Okay, so the experience is about to end, I believe. We got 13 points, which is the most I've ever gotten. Okay, finally. Okay, yeah. It finally ended. Okay. So I'm going to show one more really quick. I'm not going to spend very long on this because, like I said, I don't want to make this video too long. But I wanted to show the snow-capped mountains, which, again, in my opinion, was the second best one. So, like I said, those are flat plains. That's kind of more like a Grand Canyon, like a dust view. And this is a little bit too dark, in my opinion. More like a cloudy view. And we've already seen the rolling green hill. So let's check out the mountain, the snow-capped mountain. Now, in here, there really is no objective. You see, you're pretty high in the air. And that's just... And in case you're wondering, you're pretty high in the air already, so... Well, actually, we're not. I thought we were. No, it's just a lot of snow. Sorry, I thought they were clouds. I was wrong there. Okay. So you do have varied locations, which is nice. But as far as paths, you have predetermined paths. So, you know, you can only go up or down. You can't really decide where it goes, just wherever the wind takes you in the predetermined paths. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's see. Wow. Whoa. I couldn't even... Could you guys tell the difference? This is why I was confused. This is why I thought that it was... I guess now you guys understand why I was confused. When at first we weren't that much above the ground. I thought it was snow. This is why. Because right now, it kind of looks the same to me, but now we're really high up in the air. Wow. I would not have guessed that. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much the experience. I do like the visuals here, but like I said, wow, I'm surprised there. I did not think we were that high up. After initially, when I thought we were very high up, we were like at the ground level, which surprised me when it blew up right next to me. And now it's totally different. Now we're way up in the air, but those are clouds, not snow. Which at first, again, I think it looks good. I do enjoy this experience. I'm only giving it a 6.5, but I still give it a strong buy recommendation. At $5, I do think you're getting a good deal. And like I said, in my opinion, this is the best hot air balloon experience in VR. So if you want a hot air balloon experience in VR, this is a must buy for you then. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This is Lighter Than AR VR. If you enjoyed my review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.